to God, He starts a new, fresh slate with you, and He changes the narrative. And the church has to reach out to this young woman. Yes, sir.
Has the church done a good job in this situation?
The church is still doing a good job. The world is criticized, but the church is taking the lady through a process through the Spirit of God. I personally know Victoria, the lady who invited her to church the first time, and Victoria's standards are anything to go by. I've not met the pastor personally, but I've spoken to Victoria at length. I called Moesha and rang many times and she didn't pick up. So I called Victoria, and Victoria, I spoke to her at length, and she explained to me all the things that have happened up until now. The church hasn't taken any money from her. The church hasn't asked her to sell anything. All those rumors making the round, the church hasn't gotten one respect from Moesha. Yes, of course, the church should have followed her through the day she was going to, she attempted the suicide and all. I mean, they can't go everywhere with her. So she went to, and they also went wherever they went. There was when they found out that this was happening, they rushed there, and they went to take Moesha, took her home, and the parents, her family later came for her and decided to continue. But the church is still praying with her, and the best thing we can do as Christians is to bear her up in prayer instead of castigating and making her feel like she's not welcome here.
Now, sir, people are of the belief that the church is using this particular, whole thing to push their agenda. What is your stand on that?
That is a lie from hell. Anybody who says, I don't understand. You see, yeah, I think that it's a good question. Being a good journalist, I will take it asking that this one. As a good journalist, anybody who hears things and doesn't subject what you hear to any kind of sound scrutiny, then there's a problem, because the church actually at the point stopped all social media about Moesha. So nobody was taking a picture when the girl was in the church. Nobody was doing a video of the girl in the church. It was just that first one that, unfortunately, when she was crying and saying whatever, and then that video came out. But subsequently, the church stopped everybody from doing any social media in the church, especially because of Moesha and the things that were happening. So what is the basis for this activity? I've seen the church put out a statement, with a few things in the statement that didn't really start legal proceedings against anybody that insinuates all these things. I don't see why, if we hear things, let us cross-check and double cross-check. And why would anybody want to just put out information that haven't been cross-checked? That's where the problem is.
Now, what will be your advice to the public? Because right now the backlashes are too many. Over the weekend, I was listening to one of her team members who came out to say that now people are saying Moesha Budon, after giving her life to Christ, have sold all her belongings, including her cars, her house, and other stuff. And this is what the public are consuming. But the team member told us clearly that nothing of that sort has happened. To the point that some people are even saying, at a point she was begging for people to come buy her Range Rover before a fear nocturnal helped out in buying the car. Now, these are some of the things that is going on. What would be your advice to the public, and how do you think we can help our sister out of her past in order not to push her back into her past again?
Number one, everybody should see Moesha as a sister, a daughter, an auntie, a friend. Obviously, you'll be back. Obviously, you'll be near back. It could be aunt. She's a human being who is going through a phase and a process in her life. Can we all be human beings for once and stop looking at the history of somebody and using that to judge the person? Why would you judge somebody because the person sins a sin that you don't sin? Does that make the person a worse sinner? Everybody who is judging her has their own sin. And because it hasn't come out to light yet, doesn't mean that it is right. The fact that I lie and the fact that you fornicate, does it make me a better sinner or a better person?
Not at all.
So we should rather reach out to Moesha in prayer. Now you can't reach her because she's incommunicado. They've kept her somewhere praying with her and helping her through the phase she's going through. What we can do as a public, if we say we are a Christian nation, we lots of Christians are in this country, instead of bastardizing, instead of talking her down and discouraging and making her feel unwanted in the church, let us pray for her in all our homes, in all our prayer meetings, wherever you find yourself. Lift up a prayer for Moesha. Because if Moesha comes to the church truthfully, a lot of these people we call slave queens and whatever will give their lives to Christ. And if we want to populate heaven, that is the way to go.
Thank you so much, my mentor, my pastor, Mr. Timothy Bentum.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for making time to join us this evening. We are so grateful. All right, so people, we've been talking to Pastor Timothy Bentum. He's an actor, he's a director. In conversation with him just to get his thought on